Voodoo drums of sacrifice beat louder and more vigorously every second but a few miles from the great city of New York. A girl walks along a dark street toward her home, when suddenly a car drives upon the sidewalk in front of her. Quickly, several men in gowns and hoods over their faces jump out of the car and seize her. Collecting herself from terrifying surprise, the girl instantly screams for help.
Get that gag around her mouth before someone hears her. A young one. The sacred one will be pleased.
Yes, and no one will know what has happened to her.
But the girl's screams were not in vain. A figure streaks across the rooftops as if carried by the wind, and jumps to the street in front of the car with the speed of a striking thunderbolt. Instantly he turns for the front of the car in which the girl is being held by the hooded men.
The angel. Run him down.
With the motor wide open, the car crashing into charging man, known as the Angel, tossing him clear across the street.
I don't think we'll be bothered by the angel anymore. He hasn't stirred from where he fell.
A few moments later, the stunned Angel rises to his feet and heads for his car parked nearby.
They must have headed north, in the direction where I heard the voodoo drums.
While covering the highways to the north, the Angel sees a car, resembling of the abductors, turn into an abandoned road. And he instantly follows.
We're being followed, step on it. It's the angel.
Okay, but he'll be taken care of later.
With the Angel close behind, the car with the hooded men in, turns off the road toward an old stone mansion. As it passes under the arch, to the inner court, the driver strikes a lever, and the ground caves in behind them.
Watch, my fair one. As your rescuer drives through the archway, he will crash into the pit below.
No, he will be killed.
Suddenly a screech of brakes is heard, and the speeding car of the Angel shoots through the archway, crashing into the pit below the mansion.
Raise the trap door again and we'll bring girl to the sacred one.
You've killed him, you fiend. What are you going to do with me?
Quiet and you shall soon know.
As the door opens, they enter the large room filled with weird-looking people dancing wildly to the beat of drums. The hooded men drag the girl toward the altar where a figure sits on a large throne.
On your knees and bow your head, the sacred one rise.
As the girl is pushed to the floor, she looks upward at the figure in front of her and screams in horror.
He is hideous.
Quiet! You have done well, my subjects. Have her prepared for the sacrifice to the fire god.
At that moment, several Hagi women seize the girl and carry her to one of the adjoining rooms.
They are going to burn me alive.
Meanwhile, we turn to the pit into which the Angel crashed. A figure clings to the wet, slippery wall.
There must be some way out of here.
As the Angel pushes one of the stones, a secret opening.
A tunnel, but where does it lead to?
Running through the tunnel as fast as he can, the Angel comes into a large room where he is met by a hooded man. Instantly, a hooded figure throws a hatchet, but the Angel steps aside quickly and grabs it in midair. Like a cart, he sends it streaking back to the hooded figure, pinning him to the stone wall.
Where's the girl you kidnapped, before I tear your head off?
In the sacrifice room upstairs.
Sacrifice to the fire. I hope I'm not too late.
At the top of the stairs, another hooded guard stands. But before he is able to move, the Angel strikes.
The door's locked. I'll have to use the windows.
In a flash, the Angel is outside and climbing up the ivy to the windows of the sacrifice room. But inside, drums beat more vigorously than ever as the girl is brought to the altar.
I don't want to die.
Tie her to the stand and prepare the fire of sacrifice.
The towering figure of Sacred One rises and gives an order. As the men are about to tie the girl to the stand, a cold wind blows in from the windows above, and a huge shadow of an angel falls across the altar. Instantly the drums stop beating, and the crowd turns toward the window, cold with horror. But the figure on the altar sees that the angel is human and his burning eyes turn upward.
His eyes a hypnotist. My strength is leaving me. I'll have to move fast.
With all his power the angel springs from the window sill at the Sacred One. The spell of hypnotic power broken. He instantly grabs for a spear nearby,
Start the fire.
but is unable to strike before the angel does. Picking him up, the angel hurls the Sacred One clear across the altar, and next charges at the men about to set the fire to the wood below the girl. The angel sends the men sprawling left and right as he crashes into them. Powerful hands quickly grasp the bonds holding the girl and in split second set her free. As the angel picks up the girl, the Sacred One pulls a rope,
Down into the slimy waters below.
and the floor drops below them. In a desperate leap, the angel clears the gap to the side where the Sacred One is. Instantly the Sacred unhurls a torch stand. A moment late, the angel springs aside. Placing the girl down in a safe spot, the angel turns toward the towering figure.
He's not human, he can't be.
In an attempt to escape, the Sacred One runs directly into the gap left by the trapdoor. At the sight what happened, the crowd of the hypnotized people close in about the altar.
We'll have to move fast, there's no telling what they'll do.
Sweeping the girl up in his arms the angel runs across the altar, leaps high above the crowd to the chandelier, and swings to the exit behind them.
They aren't following us.
They're moving up to the altar.
The crowd's getting smaller and smaller. Don't look. I'd better get you out of here.
As the angel closes the door, he sees something that turns him cold, an empty altar.
It was like a horrible nightmare.
Yes, but it'll never happen again. It's all ended.